Fat to Fit week 22, ladies and gentlemen. This was a solid week. We made some actual progress this week. Things went very, very well. I dropped a pound from last week, which is pretty cool. We had one planned out cheat day this week, which is why it wasn't even more. Other than that, basically everything went according to plan this week. It was pretty awesome. I'm very, very happy with week 22. It was fantastic. I went from 180.8 pounds last week down to 179.8 pounds this week. A pound difference, a pound lost. We would have lost more if it wasn't for the cheat day. We're not going to do that next week, and hopefully we'll lose even more. Hopefully we'll lose like 2 more pounds so I can finally get to 178.0 and I can build that Lego set that I have been talking about in like every video for like 2 weeks. I can't wait. So we had that planned cheat day this week. That went according to plan. I said ahead of time, hey, I'm going to do this, so it didn't break the streak. We hit a 2-week streak this week, which is pretty cool. 14 days in a row. We had never done that before. The previous record streak was 9 days in a row, so we smashed right past that. Now we're at 18, actually, so that's pretty good. We're going really, really well as far as that is concerned. We hit day 150 this week. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that video. It wasn't as special as the day 100 or day 50 video, but things kind of taper off as you do them longer. The day 200 video is going to be a much bigger deal when we hit that. And also the half-year video, I don't know what day specifically I'll do that on. I don't know. I'm bad at math, guys, okay? I guess 183. We'll do it on probably 183. That would go well. Is this a leap year? I don't think it's a leap year. Leap years are on election years. So every presidential election, that's a leap year. That's how I remember it. So no, there's no leap year this year. I had my April 1st video. That was a really cool one. I really enjoyed that one. That was awesome. I basically, I twisted the file for, or excuse me, I twisted the aspect ratio. Usually it's, tall and slim. I reversed it so that I was stretched out to look really big. And then I talked about how it was all fake and that I actually hadn't lost weight. It was very, very funny. My love handles were massive. It was crazy. It was a pretty funny video. I very much enjoyed that one. And then also I got a crazy sunburn this week. I became a human Pokeball. If you guys couldn't tell, check out that sunburn. Wow. Yes, it hurts. It hurts, guys. And also, I've been wearing some tank tops this week, if you guys couldn't tell. So, things were going pretty good this week. As I said, I lost a pound. I could have lost more. Last week, I had 7.2 hours of sleep per night on average. Way too low. We wanted to up that, obviously. I upped it a little bit this week to 7.4 hours of sleep per night on average. I would like that to be a lot more next week. I think it will be. Last week, I had 1,755 calories per day. This week, that went up about 350 calories or so, 2,190 calories per day. That's a little bit more, I would prefer if that was less, obviously. It's only that high because we had that cheat day. I think I had like 6,000 calories that day. Other than that, we did not cheat like at all. So I think next week is going to go very well. I had 94 grams of protein per day on average last week. This week, that went down to 85 grams per day, which is not very good. I'm not happy with that at all. We definitely need to up that in the near future. I really need to just go out and buy some chicken and then make it. I keep saying that I'm going to do that, and I keep forgetting when I'm out. So I really need to get some chicken, guys. Maybe I'll just write out like a note or something so I actually remember this time. I really need to make some chicken so I can get that, that protein count up, because that's really, really important. I haven't made chicken in like probably a month. Isn't that crazy? I used to survive off of chicken, guys. It was crazy, we got to go back to the good old days of the chicken eating. I just used to be a chicken consumption factory. We need to go back to those days. As far as exercise is concerned, I played Pokemon Go. I was running around town for 7 hours this week. That was pretty cool. I did like 3 hours one time, just straight like running around, catching a bunch of Pokestops, jogging, trying to curveball them as I'm jogging. It's quite difficult, guys. I'm still not very good at it. And then I did another 4-hour session where I wore a tank top, and I sort of regret that decision a little bit, guys, honestly. But 7 hours of Pokemon Go, that was pretty cool. I did 10 pull-ups in a row this week, and I did 5 sets of 12 back squats with 55 pounds. 2-minute rest between sets. My thighs are still extremely sore. My quads are shredded, guys. They're not really shredded, but they feel pretty crazy. They're sore a lot today. When I haven't been walking around a little bit, I'm kind of like stiff-legged walking around, like my knees don't bend anymore. It's pretty crazy. But things went very well this week. I'm going to pose a little bit. As far as next week is concerned, I don't think we're going to see another video next week, because I want to start doing these videos every other week instead, so that they're a little bit more special. Usually I don't really enjoy these videos that much. I think that kind of comes across in them. I just see them as like extra work, and I don't really see them as that special, honestly. So I want to put a little more oomph into the weekly videos because I feel like that's the weak link in the videos that I make, the sort of formula I use. So I think if I do it every other week, it'll be more of an event. It'll be a lot cooler. So, and by the way, here's my back. So I don't want to move it around too much because the skin hurts a lot if I move the skin too much. Okay, so that hurts here and here. It hurts. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in 2 weeks for weeks 23 and 24. Thank you for watching. Peace out.